Hello, if you're new here, my name's Victoria and this channel is mostly homeschool because we homeschool 4 children, 3 boys, 1 girl, but I also shove in the odd book review, the odd body positivity interview, the odd haul, but it's mostly homeschool. Today is a collaboration with Becky from 80s Enough. And her channel is homeschool. They like going to fair. They live in America. They like going to what's the word? My mind's gone totally blank. They're not fairgrounds. What's the word? Theme parks. Sorry, so sorry. It's been a long day. They like going to theme parks, and they're a homeschool family. And I like her because she's very fun, and they've got a lovely sense of humour, and they're original. They're not like, you know, some of the, I'm not naming names, some of the other big channels which are like paper cutouts of each other. And the collaboration is 5 things I wish I'd known when I started homeschooling. So 5 things I wish I'd known when I started homeschooling. Number 1 is no labels. When you start homeschooling or home educating, whichever term you prefer, there's a lot of information about what different kinds of homeschool there is. I mean, unschoolers, radical unschoolers, structured, unstructured, Charlotte Mason. There's a lot of different definitions of homeschool. And to begin with, when I first started meeting other people from the homeschool community, and they go, "What kind of homeschooler are you?" I'd feel really stupid and like I didn't know what I was talking about, because I wasn't able to give them an answer, because I was like, well, we're kind of unschooly, but I insist on maths and English, so I'm not really unschooly, and we're structured in some sense, but we're not structured. It don't matter. It don't matter. Don't put a label on yourself. That's one of the reasons to homeschool, because you've got the freedom, the flexibility to not box yourself. Don't matter. Now if somebody asks me, I'll just say, I don't know, but whatever we're doing, it's working. You don't need a label. You don't need to follow a certain set of instructions or a certain way of doing it. Just go with the flow. Do what suits you. So number 2, you don't have to explain yourself or make your decision more palatable for anyone. Okay? When we first started, you know, our random people ask you in the street, like, "No school today," or random people will try and tell you why you're wrong, or try and engage you in a debate about education when you've just nipped to the shop to buy a pint of milk. That hardly ever happens to me now, because now I just say, "Yeah, we're homeschooling," and that's the end of the conversation. I'm not leaving it open for anybody to tell me why I'm wrong. I'm not leaving the conversation open for anybody to engage me in a debate about it. That's what we're doing, and that's the end of it, without being rude. Like before, I used to kind of go, "Oh well, we're homeschooling, but only till he's 7, and then we're going to reevaluate." You don't have to do that. You don't have to make it more palatable for other people or more acceptable for other people. The only person who needs to agree with what you're doing is your children and your partner. It doesn't matter anybody else. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. You don't have to make it seem better for the other person. Okay? You're homeschooling. That's the end of it. That's your decision. You don't explain yourself to anybody. Number 3, you don't need a homeschool room. Having a homeschool room was never going to be an option for us anyway, because we haven't got the budget or the space. But people used to say to me, you'll need a desk, you'll need an area. That's the area where they learn. If you want to do it like that, fair enough. And if you've got the space and the budget in your house for a homeschool room, fair enough. But you don't have to do that. I mean, we've got the kitchen table and we do quite a bit there. But you know, if it's a nice day, I'll bring a tray of drinks out into the garden. We'll do it in garden, or we'll have a curl up on sofa and do it on sofa, especially if it's reading. The day after my birthday, I packed these toilet roll innards and some scissors and some felt tips and a book on butterflies, and we read about butterflies and made these butterfly crafts in the middle of a field. You can do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be sat at a desk in a certain area on a certain homeschool room. You can do it wherever, whenever you want to. And I've took books to park before, and we've read a bit on the park. You know, hang a hammock up somewhere and I read a bit. Do it wherever you want. You don't have to have a homeschool room. If you want one, or that makes you feel more in line with how you want to run things, fair enough. But you don't have to. It's not mandatory. So number 4. I did a video on this, and I'll link it below because it is my most popular video, and it is also the video I've received the most stick for. But number 4, not everyone in the homeschool community is as nice as you are. Just because you choose to just educate your child in a similar way to them doesn't mean you're instantly going to be best friends. There are a lot of nice people in the homeschool community. You will meet nice people, but there will be the odd one who's thinks they're right all the time, or a keyboard warrior, or somebody you're just going to clash with. It's like any community of people. And like I said, I'll link that video below. And the person I was talking about in that video has since, even a couple of months ago, was being derogatory about me and my kids to other people. But don't let that put you off. Majority of people are nice. I'm just saying, be aware that it's like any other community. There are going to be good people you don't get on with, and that's fine. Just brush it off and get on with people you do like. It would be the same. It would be exactly the same if your children were at school. The playground politics. The other mothers you get on with, the other mothers you don't get on with. It's exactly the same. So the last one, number 5 in my list of things I wish I knew when I started homeschooling. It's going to be fine. I spent so much time worrying and agonising about the decision. Am I doing the right thing? Should I listen to everybody else's objections? Should I listen to everybody else telling me I'm wrong? Is it wrong to swim upwards when everybody else is swimming downwards, kind of thing? I spent months and months and months agonising about the decision to homeschool. And as soon as I just did it, everything was fine. I mean, you have got that period of time where you're adjusting and you're working out your way of doing things, how your child learns, and that constantly, that's fluid, that constantly changing throughout the entire homeschool journey anyway. There's not a bad thing. You're constantly adapting to your children. There's different stages your children are at. That's just parenting. Home education, homeschooling is just an extension of parenting. So I think that's the big one, the thing I wish I'd known at the beginning. It's going to be fine. Stop worrying. Stop agonising over this. There's a reason you're being called homeschool or home educate. There's a reason that this speaks to you. It's going to be fine. So they're my 5. So number 1, no labels. Don't put yourself in the box. Number 2, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. It's your decision, your family, your circus, your monkeys. Number 3, you don't need a homeschool room. Like I say, if you want one, fair enough. If we had loads of money in a massive house, we might have one, to be fair. But you don't need one. And if you have got one, you don't have to restrict all your learning to that room. You do it wherever. Number 4, not everyone is as nice as you, but I'm talking about the minority. Majority of people are nice. And number 5, where am I going at? Number 5 is going to be fine. So, if you enjoyed that video, go and check out Becky's at Enough is Enough, because she's doing the same. And if you're new here and you come from Becky's channel, hi, thank you. Please subscribe. Yeah, I need to go now and make tea. Both are hungry. See you next time, brand new video. Bye bye.